You saw in the first part, I actually had to address him as the right moniker, brother Taiye. There's a reason for that. The seniority, the personality, the attitude, the exuberance, the authoritativeness, the ability to come in clutch.
The Super Eagles of Nigeria have been blessed with a lot of great players over the years, with some of them along the back line. But when we are naming the best left backs, of course, we can't leave out Taiye Taiwo and Babayaro. But between the two of them, who can we say is better? Well, welcome to Crossfire, brought to you by Life Scorers. I am Jimmy Anishilowo. And Tunde and Tosin are here with me today to discuss who they think is better between Taiye Taiwo and Babayaro. So, Tosin, who are you picking? Taiye Taiwo or Babayaro?
I have to go with brother Taiye. I have to go with Taiye Taiwo. I have to go with brother Taiye. And when you talk about the pantheon of greats, we are looking at left back today, the left back position. Taiye Taiwo, Celestine Baba. Man. I think the conversation for the greatest left back in Nigerian Super Eagles history will have to be Taiye Taiwo. And obviously, Benedict Iroha. I have to give him a little bit of a shout. And maybe we can put Elderson Echejile in that conversation. Celestine Babayaro. And I keep saying this thing, like, you see that 1996 to 2002 generation, the hype is more than the achievement. That's the problem with that generation. Since that 1996 Olympics that they won, an underage tournament, let me correct again, it's an age group tournament. It's not a national, it's an age group tournament. Because that's whatever argument is going to make is based around an under 23 tournament. Me, I judge things based on the national team. Because I know that Taiye Taiwo, brother Taiye did well at the under 20 FIFA World Cup, was the third best player. Him and Messi were seeing eye to eye. But I'm not going to bring that up. I'm going to bring up their career with the Super Eagles, the national team. That is the most important thing. And with the national team, the only person that can look brother Taiye in the eye is Benedict Iroha and maybe Elderson Echejile. Obviously, Taiye Taiwo stands out for his uniqueness, his ability on set pieces, scoring goals, crucial goals also, important goals. The other day we were having a conversation about Kanu Nwankwo, and I told you that, have you ever seen a Kanu Nwankwo Africa Cup of Nations goal? Do you know who has an Africa Cup of Nations goal? Yes, brother Taiye has one. In fact, he has two. You understand? So, he brought a different dimension. You understand? Living under 20 to establish himself. And obviously, they had good players in that time. Obviously, Ifan Udeze was doing quite well at that time. But he became the starting option almost immediately. So, now, obviously, he did not win the Africa Cup of Nations. He did not win the Africa Cup of Nations. But went to three AFCONs, 2 bronze medals. Even the 2010 that they lost to Ghana, and he dominated that position, played at the 2010 FIFA World Cup also. He was a fixture in the Super Eagles for that 6-7 year period, because we know the Super Eagles career, like most places, is actually a very, very short career. We play 6-7 years for most people. There are very, very few people, like maybe John Obi Mikel, like the way Alex Iwobi is going, that play 10-11 years. Even the Celestine Babayaro, we are going to talk about how many years did he play. So Taiye Taiwo stands out among, there are a lot of greats in that left back position. We can talk about, the list goes on, but Taiye Taiwo, Benedict Iroha, and Elderson Echejile. But as a Chelsea fan, I know he will support Celestine Babayaro.
Don't ask me the question. Not as a Chelsea fan, as someone with multiple functional brain cells. And first of all, I've always known you to be disrespectful, but this is new heights. In a conversation of who is the greatest Nigerian left back, we are talking Taiye Taiwo, who has rightfully earned the right to be in this conversation, and Celestine Babayaro, and you are calling Elderson Echejile. You even mentioned Ifeanyi Udeze. You have to be smoking gorilla glue to think that Elderson Echejile is better than Celestine Babayaro. You say you even compare, you will be able to compare Elderson Echejile to Taiye Taiwo, but not Babayaro. First of all, I'm not going to do what you did. I will give Taiye Taiwo his props, even though I think Celestine was better than him, or had a better career. I'll give Taiye Taiwo his props. Taiye Taiwo, yes, was everything you said he was. He was one of the best left backs in Nigerian football history. Was one of the best players at that under-20 World Cup, even though you said we should not use under-8 tournament. Only for you to that say he was looking Messi eye to eye. Like say play for Real Madrid. Where is he Messi? Don't be under-20 World Cup. Say he was looking Messi eye to eye. No problem, I'll give it to you. But like I said, I'm not going to disparage Taiye Taiwo. Yes, some people will say he was older than his twin brother. Some people will say at that under-20 World Cup, he could have been a coach. Those are things that people say, not me. What I will say about Celestine Babayaro is that he was actually one of the best young players in the world. Because first thing first, he met the minimum requirements. He was young. It was at the under-17. He won the under-17 with Nigeria.
Nice.
This is a player that has cleared several levels for Nigeria. Won the under-17, won the Olympics. Even though you say it's an under-8 tournament, that is still our biggest achievement as a nation in football. We always claim we're a football country. What have we done in football that is more impressive than Atlanta 96? Is that not what Kando's entire reputation today is built on? Is that not what some of the guys we hold in high esteem today? Is that not what we view them? Because that's the first genuine moment of pride, going up against the best in the world. It was a time when countries sent their best to the Olympics. And it's under 23. At 23, you are already, if you are going to be good, though, I'm not talking of people that are still trying, but at 23, you should already be part of the best in the world if you are going to be good. So when we came up against Argentina, came up against Brazil, you can't discredit that. And Celestine Babayaro was a key part of that team. So for that alone, he has even already been Taiye Taiwo. Because Taiye Taiwo did not win anything with Nigeria. Except you want to come and concoct it. Even the other side, he did not win it. So what are we talking about here? If you are looking at the Super Eagles careers, Taiye Taiwo played for longer for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Yes, absolutely. You can give him, but when we are comparing two greats, we are splitting hairs. Like it's a case of fine margins basically. So Taiye Taiwo played for longer, but you can say Celestine had more impact. If you want to look at ability, Taiye Taiwo, of course, fast, had a wicked shot on him. Some might say that his defensive acumen was not as good as it should be, and it's proven time and time again when you see him in the famous highlight of the Aguero goal. But look at Celestine Babayaro. So Celestine Babayaro was fast. He has an eye for goal. So does Taiye Taiwo. And Babayaro legitimately, at some point, was one of the best left backs in the world. For Anderlecht. I know that was before you started watching football, so I'm not going to go too much into it. But like for Anderlecht, he was the best African player in the Belgian league. He won the award. He was the best young player in the Belgian league, and that's when he then moved to Chelsea and continued that. Even though it was before Chelsea became Chelsea, but they still won the UEFA Super Cup against Real Madrid. It's a team that has done. It's a player that has done a lot. So like I'm not going to discredit him. Taiye Taiwo, fantastic. I just think that Celestine Babayaro was better, had a better career, was a better player.
Right. Thank you for us. So, Tosin, now to you. Among all the current left backs, Nigerian left backs, who do you think can match? Because you picked Taiye Taiwo as the better. Who do you think can match his legacy?
Before we actually address current situation, let's address the previous. Because he started by ranting about under 23 tournament, and I've told you that the downfall of Nigerian football started with that generation. All of them in that generation. Whoever is in that generation, the Kanu, the Pebas, that generation, did they produce anything at senior level? When we talked about, we celebrated the 25-year anniversary of Nigeria losing to Cameroon on home soil. Do you know who was part of that team? Yes, it's part of that. All of them. They carried that 1996 hype. Enter 2000 in Nigeria on home soil. They didn't do anything with it. They couldn't deliver. And that is why I said the number one person I will consider as that can get into that conversation, well, the first thing I mentioned was Benedict Iroha. And because Benedict Iroha won with the 1994 team, obviously Nigeria's first World Cup in 1994 was also part of that team. Obviously, he played majority of his career with, I think, with Nigerian National before he went to go and play for, I think, Elche or something. But Taiye Taiwo played consistently in Europe. I don't really care much about your time in Europe. I care about your Super Eagles achievement. So, which is why when I talk about Celestine Babayaro, and I can't believe you are the GOAT left back for Nigeria if you play less than 30 games. In fact, we should actually have, that's the same conversation I had with him that day. We had a conversation about Joseph Yobo and Taribo West. And I said, like, Taribo West, I think Taribo West played about 35 games. You see, if you're in that 30 range, disqualify yourself from the GOAT conversation in Nigeria. Please. You can't play 30-something games. Oh, do you know who is also in that generation? That generation that didn't achieve Taribo West also. Their names. Anytime I talk about a player that I've criticized or mentioned on this show that is not in the GOAT, I put them in that 1996 to 2000 category. Celestine Babayaro played 27 games for Nigeria. That's what Jamilu Collins has.
I'm going to leave this. I'll leave this.
Like, that's what Jamilu Collins has. Let's be honest now. That's what Jamilu Collins. That's Shehu Abdullahi.
Yeah, but you look at impact now.
Baba, I'm telling you, impact what? What impact? Impact on losing? Impact that... Oh, God.
Calm down.
Here's the simple truth. The idea of Celestine Babayaro, and the reality of Celestine Babayaro, they are two different things. Oh. They are two absolutely different things. The reality of Taiye Taiwo, if they tell you Taiye Thunder, and you saw in the first part, I actually had to address him as the right moniker, brother Taiye. There's a reason for that. The seniority, the personality, the attitude, the exuberance, the authoritativeness, the ability to come in clutch. Taiye Taiwo came into the national team. Do you not see? I don't think you understand the context of the national team that Taiye Taiwo came into. He came into that team. They had Joseph Yobo, they had Chidi Odia, they had Christian Obodo, JJ Okocha, Wusin Oruma. Kanu was obviously their captain. He didn't really do much as captain. He was on the bench, but we are not going to turn this into a Kanu episode. We've already done that. Kanu was on that team. Obafemi Martins and Osazi Odemwingie. A 19-year-old Taiye Taiwo, brother Taiye, came into that team and took over set-piece duties as a left back. The talent, his ability to deliver, from a personality and from the totality of it. He played 57 games. Like, he delivered for an extended period of time. Please, if you want to talk about Benedict Iroha, yes, but Celestine Babayaro, don't go and read up on Celestine Babayaro. That's another assignment for you.
All right, thank you for not answering my question in any way, shape, or form.
Don't worry yourself. Don't stress yourself. I too shall not be answering it.
I'm not asking the question.
I want to answer him directly. He keeps talking about he don't play so amount of games. That I will play 55 games. Celestine, in part winning. What did Taiye Taiwo win? Like, you keep talking like that. What did Taiye Taiwo win? The best he did at the AFCON, did he even play an AFCON final? The best he did at the AFCON was 2006, third place.
What about 2010?
If I'm not mistaken.
What about 2010?
Who did we play in 2010?
AFCON, another third place also.
Is this guy okay? Because when I keep telling people to stop employing people based on buy one get one free, this is what I'm talking about. So please don't get on my nerves. You talk about winning, and Taiye Taiwo is the guy you are defending, a guy that literally never won anything for Nigeria at any level. Again, I don't want to use this against him because me personally, I'm not going to hold the left back responsible for the team not winning because I'm not a mentally disabled human being. Why would I hold the left back and say the left back is the reason we are not winning? What do you do with the attackers? So, like, but you cannot then use that to judge Celestine Babayaro while defending Taiye Taiwo. Babayaro has literally won more for Nigeria in exactly half the games that Taiye Taiwo played. So, do you want to play 55 meaningless games. That's not saying that those games were meaningless because he did give us a lot of good memories. I remember that goal against Ghana, that power driver in 2006. Some of us have been watching football long enough and we retain these things. I remember and I respect him for all he has done. But if you say Celeste's games were meaningless, he played 27 games. Which one would you rather have? Play 27 games for Nigeria, play 7 games for the under-23 team, play 7 more games for the under-17 team, win 2 trophies in total, 1 under-17, 1 Olympic gold medal. But you played 55 games for the national team, played I think about 10 for the under-20 team. No trophy or anything to show for it, just third place medals. But you want to acclaim the one that did not win anything as a winner, and why you are talking down on the one that is winning something. And he even went ahead to say the most disrespectful thing I've ever heard on this show, saying Damilu Collins has played the same amount of games for Nigeria. Look, there's some things that you say that I don't know. I don't think I can say what I really want to say on this show because I might lose my job. But there's some things that you just say that turned out supposed to just strike.
You already said it.
No, that's not what I want to say. This is me being politically correct. But how will somebody open mouth? We are talking about Celeste Babayaro. He first brought up Edase Echejile. I respect Edase Echejile for what he did at 2013 AFCON. I believe that he was one of the key players and one of the reasons we won that AFCON because he performed quite well as a left back. But he's nowhere near a greatest Nigerian left back coalition. But you say you put him ahead of Celeste Babayaro. You said you mentioned Ifeanyi Udeze. Not just to Ifeanyi Udeze. I enjoy his analysis on radio. but like I said, come on, Tosi, what is wrong with you? Then you mentioned Damilu Collins. Is Damilu Collins? Is he like? I don't want to say is he like, but I don't understand. You are letting me disrespect people that don't even do anything to me because you choose to be unserious. We are talking about Celeste Babayaro, undoubtedly Nigeria's greatest left back. If you are looking at impact in the amount of games, Celeste did not waste time. You don't need to bother you with my existence and force myself to play 80 to 100 games. Give me 27 meaningful games. Give me 27 memorable games. Do something. Put a smile on my face as a Nigerian. There's no time I've ever watched the third place game and celebrated it. That's just even if we win. Like, yay! We carry third. I'm sure the people like you that are used to be at the back of the class. The third must have been a very big achievement for you in your household. But let me.
I know you separate fight too.
No, you were right next to him at the back of the class. Let me not let you know. Wow. But obviously, like, come on. Celeste Babayaro is Nigeria's greatest left back. Taiye Taiwo is obviously number 2, in my opinion. I'm not good. He said I not disrespect Taiye Taiwo. In his entire points, did not give Celeste Babayaro props and was calling legitimate scrubs. Radio presenters. No, I'm left-footed. I personally think that I can be better than Damilu Collins if I put my mind to it. And you call Damilu Collins in a discussion against Celeste Babayaro, you have sinned against God and country.
Well, we've heard from Tunde and Tosin. Tosin has gone with Taiye Taiwo as his greatest Super Eagles left back of all time, while Tunde has gone with Celestine Babayaro. But who among these greats are you picking? Share your thoughts in the comments. I am Anishilowo, Jimmy Anishilowo, and this is Crossfire, brought to you by Life's Comments.